Today we're going to present a short meditation. It's on an interesting subject. It's on TED videos. Everybody knows what TED videos are, so now we're going to go a little bit deeper into some of the concepts behind these videos. The tagline for TED is "Ideas Worth Spreading." Those three words, ideas worth spreading. And the imagery that comes to mind is viral. It's called viral marketing, that you have an idea and you want people to hear about the idea. So you want to share it with the world. You want people to benefit from it. So what do? You sneeze the idea. The particles go everywhere, all over the place. And the hope is that if you have an interesting enough idea, that people will be inspired and it will change people's lives. But it may be true the first day, the first week, but what many people say is that after a while, it's a question of what happens afterwards, of what the results are. Even though these people go on to write books based on these videos and so forth, the main question today is what is actually happening from these talks. So what we would like to now explain is that this is a shift. That it used to be that you had an exciting idea, you had an exciting headline, an exciting book, and that was it. That was the big deal, is that you make the top list, the top bestseller list, you sell millions of copies, you go on tour all over the world, you become a personality, and that was enough. But now everyone is talking about context. Things need to be put in the proper context. Recently there was a TED Talk, an interview with Larry Page of Google, and he's saying search needs to be in context. Recently I read this article from an interior designer, and he said that you put your coffee mug down on the table. The coffee mug has to be in context. It has to match the table. And not only does it have to match the table, it has to match the room. And then you can maybe start going into the type of coffee, make sure it fits in. The type of coffee that you're drinking with the whole scheme of your room. So we're trying to create a landscape around our ideas. So what does this mean? What does this shift signify? So in Kabbalah there's two things. You have a light and you have vessels. And if you have light, even if it's very exciting light, you need vessels. Or else what happens is that a day goes by, a week goes by, and it fizzles out. No, it's a fad, it doesn't last. So everybody would like to have vessels, meaning that these things should change your life. It should affect you for years to come if it's really something good, a good idea. So it used to be that you have headlines, you have the most exciting speeches and news stories coming out, and there wasn't talk about bringing into context. Until recently, you have even big data. Everyone's talking about big data also. But now the main thing is, how do you navigate through big data? How do you make sense of it all? You have this topography of concepts, and you want to navigate through to find those things that are meaningful, that are nuggets, that are precious for you, little gems in the sand. So recently we published a book on physics, on Torah and modern physics. And we had a physicist that looked at the book, and he made a list of about a dozen things that science hasn't yet discovered. But because it's based on Torah, we know that it's true. We know that it's true, and he's going to maybe keep that list around. Maybe he'll research some of these things himself, or otherwise he'll keep this list around, and 5, 10, 15 years in the future, these one by one, these things will start coming true in reality. We had a scientist a couple weeks ago. He has a new groundbreaking discovery. And why is he contacting us? Because it's 100% in accordance with one of our meditations. And he's very excited because here he has this discovery, and he read our article previously, and he was very excited to see this convergence between the two. So this is called the convergence, the unification between the higher waters of divine wisdom and the lower waters of man-made wisdom, of sciences, of natural sciences. So to end off this meditation of why we recorded this video today is to start thinking about more into what it means to put everything into context. And if you have a conceptual landscape to place these exciting ideas in, what does that mean? So as we said before, you have light and you need vessels in order to hold that light. And the vessels are the vessels of the Torah. When you put it into the context, even the most exciting ideas, and you put it into the context of Torah, then it can really change people's lives, and not only today, not only tomorrow, but for years to come. So we have this book on, for instance, on physics, and even though we just published it, we're hoping that for many years it'll be relevant. It'll be something that people can look back to. And like this physicist, it has these dozen gems, these dozen lights that he noted that discoveries that science hasn't yet come to. So these are exciting things, but we didn't make a dozen TED Talks. We put it all into a book, because even though maybe a TED Talk of just talking about these discoveries would get millions of views, the main thing is to integrate it and to put it into a system. And we call that system the landscape of the Torah. So hopefully we'll meet again. We'll have a lot more to talk about. But for today, it's good. Take care.